Hi, it's my pleasure to introduce Jackie Harris, who's working towards a dual major in environmental science and women and gender studies at UNH, where she's entering her junior year this fall. It's been highly enjoyable to work with Jackie. She's a consummate professional. She has an incredible commitment to quality, and she's had to navigate a number of transitions during her fellowship, and she's done so with incredible persistence, patience, and she always has this optimistic outlook, which we've really appreciated. The city's learned many valuable lessons from her, especially from her research and findings through this fellowship. We really look forward to following her future endeavors as she takes on her passion for environment and social justice. So with that, I'll turn it over to Jackie.
Thank you for that intro, Tara. So for my fellowship, I worked with the city of Keene to develop a benchmarking program for tracking their energy and water consumption in municipal buildings. Keene is a small rural city in New Hampshire, and the idea to benchmark came about when the Keene City Council adopted their sustainable energy plan. The goal of benchmarking is to reduce energy and water usage by putting all the consumption data for the buildings into one system, enabling us to track and compare the performances of all the buildings locally and nationally. This tool benefits energy cost and consumption reduction efforts and allows us to pinpoint which buildings are the low-hanging fruit and would benefit the most from energy efficiency improvements. This work will be supporting the goal of transitioning the city of Keene to using 100% renewable energy. And as Peter Drucker said, you can't manage what you don't measure. Next slide, please. So my work consisted of starting the program from scratch, and when researching the best practices and conducting interviews with municipalities that had citywide benchmarking programs, it became clear to me that benchmarking is a very effective way to manage energy and water consumption. I also learned that developing a complete benchmarking program takes more time and effort than we originally anticipated, and a large project like this could be compared to a tree. When you look at a tree, you see the foliage and the strong trunk that supports the whole plant, but there's also a hidden network of roots underneath the tree that support it too. Like a tree trunk, major supportive steps were apparent for us to complete initially. Along with the research and interviews I did, I collected energy and water data for the buildings and entered it into the online benchmarking tool and also analyzed the data. While I wrapped up working on these steps, my mentors and I examined everything we knew so far, lessons learned, challenges, and research, to piece together what else needed to be completed to strengthen the program. It became clear that there were some foundational steps that would either solve some problems we faced or improve the process later on. And these foundational steps are comparable to the roots of a tree. Some of these roots included laying the groundwork for starting any data collection and entry, communicating with key city staff about the program and getting their buy-in early on, and centralizing and standardizing how departments keep records of their energy and water data. In a final report, I documented these foundational steps and provided some recommendations for the city of Keene to use when I leave, so they can carry on the work to refine the program when I'm gone. I also created a benchmarking program action plan where I outlined the steps that I completed during the fellowship and also included some recommendations for supporting the program later on. During this fellowship, I realized it's really important to repeatedly ask throughout the process what steps are necessary to root this project and allow it to grow. Next slide, please. So the benchmarking plan is broken up into 3 phases: the municipal program, the citywide voluntary program, and the citywide mandatory program. And these could all be thought of as one continuously growing tree. My work was focused on developing phase 1 specifically, and everything I completed lays the groundwork for the future development. Along with the final report and benchmarking action plan, I also used interviews and research that I did earlier to suggest some helpful recommendations for phase 2 and phase 3, so the city can immediately move forward after solidifying phase 1. Now, I just want to take a moment to thank my wonderful mentors, Tara, Andy, and Mary, for their phenomenal guidance and leadership. My experience doing this fellowship and working with the city of Keene was remarkable. I learned so much about the working world, municipalities, and how to find work that positively impacts the planet. And I didn't expect to connect with so many genuine, hardworking individuals within the city of Keene, my cohort, and within this fellowship group. And I'm so grateful that I did. Thank you for listening today.